If I could go back to the moment when I decided to have an abortion, what I would tell myself is you will meet other trans people like you. You will meet an entire community of people who have also had abortions and who are telling their stories. You will meet tons of other trans people who have had abortions. Your experience is a normal transgender experience. When I got pregnant, I was unemployed and I was living in a three-bedroom apartment with three other people. So there were four of us in a three-bedroom apartment. I had no room physically in my apartment, nor did I have room mentally or emotionally the for the job of parenting. I also had some health issues at the time, and before I even knew I was pregnant, I was seeing some flare ups of my symptoms. And I found out later that had I wanted to carry to term, I would have had to go off my medication. It would have been frankly disastrous. When I got to the clinic, I was greeted by a bunch of protesters screaming and waving brochures in front of my partner's windshield. Um, and when I went into the clinic, they screamed at me, "Don't murder your baby!" It was absolutely degrading and humiliating to have people examining my reproductive health choices in such an invasive way. When I actually got my abortion, the doctors and nurses were all really professional, and I had as good of an experience as an abortion can be. It is a health procedure. Clearly, I would have rather spent my Saturday doing something else, but my abortion wasn't traumatic or damaging at all. Any residual trauma I have comes from the stigma I face and the horrible treatment I received from the anti choice protesters. At the time I got my abortion, I didn't know any other trans people who had gotten abortions. Abortion isn't really talked about in the trans community as an experience that we have. And I just wasn't in any communities where I knew anyone else going through what I was going through. In addition to that, all the language around pregnancy is really coded as female. All of the imagery is really, coded as female. And so, like being in this situation where my body was being gendered in a way that felt wrong to me really caused me some dysphoria. My partner at the time was incredibly supportive and was with me entirely every step of the way. I really appreciated the people who listened to me because, finding out I was pregnant was the scariest experience of my life. People who listened to me and gave me space to make the decision for myself. That was something I really appreciated. I went looking on Ritual Well for rituals around abortion, and they all centered on kind of this air of tragedy, this air of sadness and solemnity, and that wasn't my abortion experience. I don't have unresolved feelings of um, being sorry or regretful around it. Um, and so I would want the Jewish community to know that there are other emotions around abortion, that you can definitely have rituals around conflicted feelings or rituals around mourning the loss of a wanted pregnancy. But I think you could also have affirming rituals, rituals that affirmed, your decision to have an abortion. I think that's the kind of ritual that would have helped me and would have helped me feel some, you know, spiritual closure around my decision. I really do feel like God was with me. I feel like it was a choice that I made with God. I really do think it's a choice that God has blessed.